I have been moved by many of you who tell me that the advice that I'm sharing with you has changed your life. That just like the video I just did on penny stocks, how you had fallen into that trap and how recently you picked up on my videos and you found another way. And that moves me. What I'm going to share with you today is probably going to be the best financial advice you will ever receive in your life. Now, it took me a long time to learn this and to put it together, but as I do these things and as you respond to me, things that I know come back to me, and I say, I got to share that. So you need to accept what I'm going to tell you in concept, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to tell you how you can accumulate $28 million over the next 30 years and have that at any point at your disposal. But you got to buy into several concepts. The first one is you got to get a gig. You've got to get a side gig that's going to generate you $56,000 a year. Later in this video, I'm going to give you some ideas. I'm going to give you some exact ways you can do that. But you've got to buy into the fact that you've got to get a side gig that produces you $56,000 a year. The next thing you need to do is to set up what is known as a subchapter S corporation. It's a flow-through business entity. That is to say that you accumulate money from your side gig. It ends up in a bank account that is a business account that you can then deduct $56,000 from your earnings from this side gig and put it into a SEP IRA. A SEP IRA under current law allows you to put $56,000 into that account, and then you can invest inside that account and incur no taxes. This is critical. You gotta keep the money that you earn. You can't give it to Uncle Sam and the state. If you do, you will be giving, if you make $100,000, you could give as much as $30,000 of it in a year to Uncle Sam and another $10,000, depending on what state you live in, to your state government. You can't allow that to happen. You have to keep that money under your control. I've already shown you that you should be able to earn 15% on that money. I'm going to show you this spreadsheet. This is something I did. In column A, you're going to see the year. And I am covering 30 years. In column B, you're going to see the $56,000 a year going into your SEP IRA. In column C, you're going to see the 15% earnings on that. Column D is then the $56,000 plus the $8,400 earnings. You then copy and paste and run it for 30 years. And down in the far right corner, you're going to see that after 30 years, you have $27,997,587. It's that simple. That's how you accumulate $28 million. Okay? It's more purely math. Now, if you follow religiously the investment things that I have told you, you can probably increase that 15% to 25%. If you'll do that, you're going to end up with $225,902,000 in your SEP IRA 30 years from when you start this. You've got to accept this concept. You've got to understand the power of compounding of money. You've got to understand how important it is that you keep what you make and you don't give it away because you don't manage your taxes. Okay, now, if you buy into that, now let's talk about what this gig is. what this gig that you could do that would increase your earnings, because you're not going to be able to pull $56,000 out of your current life. You've got to get a gig that's going to produce that and possibly more. So I consulted my roommate that lives in my head, that is my best ally. I asked them, what kind of gigs can these people do? It can't be Uber. It can't be that deal where you go through grocery stores and collect and deliver groceries. It's got to be something in more depth than that. And my roommate said to me, Kerry, why don't you tell them what you're doing and the avenues that are opening up to you that they could maybe even help you with and help you with a gig? Okay, I said, let's do that. I'll explain to them some of the things that I've learned through doing this YouTube channel. What you've got to understand is this YouTube channel has elevated me into a position where I'm an influencer, where I've right now got 40,000 subscribers and over 200,000 viewers. I get somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,000 views a day, and by January, that's going to be well over 1 million in a month, well over 1 million subscribers. I keep track of everything relative to my YouTube channel. It's on a spreadsheet. I know what I did in the first month I monetized, which was last January. I monetized on this YouTube channel, and YouTube sent me $18 for the advertising that they put aside my videos. That has grown to this month, they will send me $14,000 for the advertising that they will put adjacent to my videos. By January of 2021, that will be $286,164. That's per month. That's what this YouTube channel is all about. That's what becoming an influencer is all about. Now, you might say, Kerry, I really am proud for you, and that's wonderful, but I can't do what you do. I don't have the experience you have. I don't have the insight to investment that you have. I don't have the insight to how to make money that you have. Okay, I'll buy that. I got time on you. I've got wisdom. I've read more books than you. Okay? But there are other ways. Let's talk about books. I wrote this book. This book explains to you how to get rid of the unwanted roommate that's in your head that tells you you can't collect on a gig $56,000 a month. That's what he's telling you right now, or she. And this book explains to you how you get rid of that unwanted roommate and you replace him with what I've got. Your biggest fan, your biggest coach that says, yeah, you can do that. Well, as a result of me writing this book, last month I made $1,000 on royalties. This month, that number moved up to $1,500. Okay, that's a gig. What do I do to receive that money each month? Absolutely nothing. I wrote the book. I got it published. I sent it off to Amazon, Kindle Direct Publishing, and when you order it, they print it. I don't get notified. I don't get nothing. I just get a check. Okay, so this endeavor is going to make me $1,500 this month, and the month's almost over. So I know it's going to happen. In the following month, it'll probably go up another 40%, 50%. So how does that involve you? I should write another book. I don't have time to write another book. I do videos every day. I'm not a writer. Well, maybe you are. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you could go through every one of my videos there's some 200 of them. Some of them you don't need to mess with, nor the earlier ones. And maybe you could write a book for me. And it would be Kerry's Investment Strategies. words of wisdom that Carrie has shared. And you could create a story out of it, and you could create a book. If you've got that talent, you could do that, and you could write that book. That book is going to turn into a $30,000 a month revenue stream for me. I'm willing to share it with you. If you'll do the work, if you'll write the book, if you'll get it published, if you'll send it off to Kindle, you'll learn that skill. I'm willing to share it with you, 50-50. So on the months that we make $30,000, you get 15 of it, I get 15 of it. Is that fair? I think it is. How can you do that? If you've got the skill, it's a part-time gig. Now, wow, that's really good, Carrie, but wait a second. Graham Stevens doesn't have a book. Meet Kevin doesn't have a book. Go through all the people who you watch on YouTube, and you'll find they don't have a book. If you can write a book for me, you can write a book for them. Now this part-time gig is no longer a part-time gig. This is a profession. And you're socking away $56,000 a year to accumulate at a minimum $28 million in 35 years. It's that simple, folks. We are in a digital economy, and if you will take your talents and adapt them to people like me who have all these opportunities in front of them and don't have the ability to get it done because they have other things they have to do. What about LeBron James? Does he have a book? Maybe he needs a book. Maybe Taylor Swift needs a book. Maybe that girl on YouTube who does all the eye makeup that has over 1 million followers, maybe she needs a book. Maybe you could write a book for her. And maybe you aren't the guy who gets the gig for me, but you can get it for them. What I'm telling you is if you've got a talent that I need, that I can make money for, you can make money from as well. That's the digital economy. Let's move on. I need somebody to help edit my videos. I'm willing to pay $25 a video. Do the math. You can do it for me. It'll take you maybe an hour a day. You can probably do it for 8 other people. Do the math. You can create. And then maybe you can get some other people to help you do it. And you can build a business. It starts out a part-time gig and it grows. I have a store. It sells merchandise. It sells the hats, the mugs, this sort of thing. I don't have time to take care of it. It needs to be built out in a website that you could build, and then you could send to me and say, Carrie, this is how the store should work. And we can sell your books and your merchandise, and you've got other merchandise that you find, and you find how to take that store. If I've got 1 million subscribers, and I can bring them into that store, and you can bring them into that store, and we can sell those 1 million subscribers merchandise, is that a good gig? And then if you can do it for me, you can do it for Grant Stevens, you can do it for Meet Kevin, you can do it for the girl with the makeup. It's a small gig that turns into a monstrous business, and it's digital. So you don't have to have inventory. You don't have, it's all print on demand. It's all, this cup was not made until I ordered it. There is no warehouse. There is no distribution center. It wasn't made until I ordered it. And did they make a dozen of them? They made one. That's the society. Let's move on. Okay, somewhere after this pandemic is over, someone's going to call me and say, Carrie, we want you to come to Detroit and speak to our group. I need an agent. I need someone to let those people in Detroit know that I'm available, that I can come and talk about investing. So I can come and talk about this subject right here, how I built a YouTube channel. I need an agent. Maybe it's you. If you can be an agent for me, you can be an agent for anybody else. What you got to recognize is there's a whole bunch of us in the YouTube business now that have no experience. There's a whole bunch of agents that have no experience with the new influencers that are growing within the YouTube industry. So there's a void there right now. There's a void that you can step in and say, hey, I did this for Kerry, and this is how it worked, and this is what we did for him, and I'm his agent. I specialize in YouTube people. I do not do Taylor Swift. I don't do LeBron James. I do YouTube people. There's a void. You can step in and fill that void and make a gig out of it that turns into a profession out of it. And you can then feed your SEP IRA to the tune of $56,000, and that's just a mere smidgen of what you're going to be making, so that you can end up with your $27 million in 30 years. Okay, I know nothing about podcasts. I know they're there. I know people monetize them. I need somebody who comes and says, Kerry, we can take your videos and we can turn them into podcasts, and we can sell them to someone who sells advertising just like they sell advertising around your video, and we can create another income source. Am I willing to share that income? Yeah, because I don't have time and I don't know how to do it. But if you can make money off of it. And then, just like the other gigs, if you can do it for me, you can do it for other people. I'm just saying there is a lot of opportunity here when you accept the principle of making money and keeping all of it and keeping it and investing it. So for your future, you can live the life you want and then build your retirement. Build an enormous, you won't be able to spend the amount of money that you're going to be able to make if you invest it properly and if you keep what you make. Okay, the morning letter. The morning letter is crap. It's something that I scramble to put together every morning, and it doesn't do a good job. I mean, you might like it, but it isn't making any money. I'm sending out 10,000 of them every day. That should have advertising on it. It should have sponsors who want to speak to our tribe and make them happy customers. You got to understand, I was in the financial planning business. The best source of new business was referrals from happy customers. And because the referral knows and trusts the referrer, and therefore I got clients that way. Well, I'm now a trusted person. So if you need a financial advisor and I have vetted them and I've worked with the organization, would you possibly say, yeah, I'll give them a shot? Well, that's somebody who should be sponsoring these videos. We should have an insurance company sponsoring it. We should have a trading portal such as E-Trade or Schwab or Robinhood sponsoring this channel. YouTube charges $24.37 for an ad on any of my videos per 1,000. Well, I should be able to charge that to maybe 5 sponsors for every video. But I don't have the time. Oh, I've written some people, but I need somebody who says, yeah, I've got some skill in that area, and I know how to write a good letter, and then write the second letter, and then the 5th letter, and then the 9th letter. And I know how to reach in and get these people and sell them on the concept that they need to be sponsoring Best of Us investors. Once you get that done, then you go find another YouTube channel and you do it for them. It's that simple, folks. There is an opportunity there because this YouTube thing is changing. And us creators don't know all the opportunities we have. We don't have the time to do them. So we need someone to come in and fill that void. Okay, so the letter, the sponsors. A sponsor, he gets mentioned from Kerry. Hey, if you need to set up this SEP IRA, you need to contact XYZ brokers or XYZ financial advisors. They'll tell you to do it. Hey, the best portal that I have found is XYZ trading portal. You trust me. You trust the other people that you have on that you go to YouTube. So they need you if you have a skill that can make them money, and they're more than willing. I'm sure if they aren't, say thank you very much, goodbye, but they should be willing to share it with you because you bring a skill, you bring a talent that I don't have, but I can use. I have the audience. I'm building the audience. It's the old theory that if who was it, the Grateful Dead, they just went around doing concerts and people followed them around and bought tickets. Once you get the audience, once you get the following, you can provide to that audience all their needs, all the things they want, if you have the support staff, and that's what I'm asking you to become. You can become the support staff, and then you can turn that gig into a full-time job, but most importantly, you can put $56,000 into an investment account that is not taxed until you retire. And trust me, when you're going to have people tell you, yeah, but the tax rates will be higher when you retire. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Put the money in there now and let it compound. If you're a good investor and you can get 15 to 25% return on your money, and you don't want to give it to Uncle Sam. So that's how you take a part-time gig, a side hustle, and you turn it into a $28 million portfolio. You merely provide me with something that I need that will make me money, but will make you money too. This is the digital economy. You're at the door of it. It's just opening up. You look at all those YouTube creators, and you see they've already got 500,000 subscribers. Look into their description. Do they have a book? Do they have a store? Do they have an agent? This is your opportunity. You merely need to develop the skill, much as I've developed this skill. And then the door opens to you, and you write your own ticket. You can live the life you want, where you want, and you don't answer to anybody other than your passion and your coach. Not your unwanted roommate, your coach, because your coach will tell you the next step.